Yeah, I think moose is probably my best meat.
You
I,
enjoy it the
I, I
most?
got a, yeah, I got a moose when I was up in Canada,
Hmm.
and it was, I thought there was nothing better than that. I thought, whitetail is good, but moose is even much better.
I was able to drive up there. I drove back 400 pounds of moose meat. I made a point. It was a 32-hour drive, but I was adamant that I wanted to bring home every morsel because I was doing a mountain goat and moose hunt, and I was going to be gone 2 weeks, and I wanted to be sure that I could get all that meat back. So I brought back 400 pounds of moose meat and butchered it all myself, and it was quite the chore to do. I think I ended up with 200 pounds of ground and 200 pounds of other cuts. And it was, to me, it was very good that night. We knew we couldn't butcher it that night because it was a half a day process, but we knew we could get to it and field dress it to cool it off. And a lot of people do a gutless method when they skin animals, but we didn't have a chance. We had to get the gut side of that thing. So the amount of heat that gets put off by not gutting an animal. I am a big believer in field dressing an animal if you at all possible to do. So, man, just that's a biggie for me is when you know an animal's down. I always take a second to thank God for the opportunity and thank the animal, and then show respect. But as soon as that's over with, a quick photo and let's get going here, because that inevitably what happens is that meat is a valuable commodity the minute it hits the ground. And for me
Right.
personally, it's why I hunt. I got a trophy room full of stuff. But if people ask me why I hunt, it's because I like to eat what I shoot. That's the main thing.
Well, you know where it come from. You know is how it's processed, and
Yeah.
that's why I always did all my own. I did my moose myself. It took me a while because I was working full time, but it took me about 5 days to get it all cut up. So but it's been on ice the whole time.
Yeah.
And I could
Yeah.
definitely tell a little color change between when I first started and about 4 or 5 days later, it got a little bit darker.
Yeah.
It aged a little bit, and I wasn't intending on aging it, but it was fine because it
Yeah.
was kept cold, and that way I know exactly how it was prepared, how it was kept.
Yes.
It's cut in the size and that I want, and the quantities in the package that I want, to
Right.
feed the family. And now because it's just the two of us, I don't need as many in a package. But when
Right.
you got three kids and either five people you're feeding, and all my kids, they liked the venison and they knew where it come from, and so they weren't squeamish. Like, I come home and clean it. It's like, dearie shot. It's like, this is it. It's good, isn't it? And they say, yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's awesome.